Scott Horton of Value My JD. I'm an attorney with over 11 years of practice in the area of labor and employment law. Recently, I opened my own firm in that area in Western New York, just outside of Buffalo. And in addition to my practice representing clients, businesses, and municipalities, school districts, I've decided I'd really like to share my expertise in the legal industry itself as far as how to navigate from one job to the next, how to do your own thing, how to learn more about what the opportunities out there are for attorneys and aspiring young attorneys. I've decided to focus my efforts in this regard with current law students. So this course is one that is timed very specifically at the beginning of the summer of 2017, where my goal is to help you learn some things that you can do over the next few months in your summer job to lay the groundwork and foundation for future success in your chosen profession. So what I'd like to do is start with the overview today's presentation. I have three key takeaways that I'd like to summarize for you at this time. First, we're going to learn that it's very important to mind the work. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you how to do the legal work, which will vary significantly depending on what type of job you have and what type of assignments you are given. But the main takeaway here is make sure you do get into and learn the work and at least familiarize yourself with the type of work that that particular organization would make available to you should you have the opportunity to continue to work there in the future. In addition, you can certainly draw parallels as to what the work would be like in other organizations as well. I also want you to be memorable in your summer law job experience. You want people to remember who you are. I can tell you that having gone through a couple of summer jobs, I'm not sure that the people that I worked with would recognize me in all cases if I contacted them now 10 years later. Hopefully they would have if I were closer in time to when I had those experiences, but be memorable so that down the road, whether it be 1 year, 2 year, 10 years later, if there's someone you need to call on for a favor, there's a way that you can help them or they can help you, that they will be able to remember having worked with you in the past. Finally, I want you to keep in touch. This is going to be an immediate action item for you at the end of your summer. Make sure you continue to reach out and stay in touch with the people you've been working with. And to a greater or lesser extent, we're going to keep that alive going forward during your next year in law school and hopefully in the future, because you never know when the next opportunity may present that requires or warrant that you have an ongoing relationship to somebody you worked with over the summer while you were in law school. Okay, let's go down to each of these. I told you I wanted you to mind the work. Here I've asked you to fix your focus, dig in and build tools. Maybe these are a little bit broad in appearance at this point, but I'm trying to be able to help out a lot of people over various jobs. Some of you will be in law firms working as summer clerks or associates. Others of you are in non-law atmospheres. Maybe you're in the legal department of a business. Some of you might be actually working for a law professor as a research assistant or in the nonprofit world doing something that either is directly legal or complements a legal function. So it's going to vary quite a bit, but dig in, do the work. I can't tell you how to do the work at this point, but you need to do it. You need to figure out how to do it. You need to talk to the right people within the organization to learn the right way to get the job done. You want to do that for two reasons. One, obviously, you want to leave a good impression by the work that you've done within those organizations, but you also want to really understand what the work entails, because that's going to help you make decisions down the road as to what types of jobs are right for you and which you would not really enjoy doing. So while you are doing the work, you're going to be building tools. This may be legal capability that you really will need if you continue. How do you draft motions? How do you do certain research tasks? In some situations, others it may be more interpersonal tools that you're building. How do you go to the person you need to speak to get assistance on something? How do you interact with support staff? Because they can make your life much easier if you know who to go to and who can help you and how to get them to help you, which may or may not always be an easy thing to do. So really focus on that aspect of the summer as one of the main focus points for developing as much as you can out of your summer job. Next, I want you to, again, be memorable. There's more than one way to stand out, of course. When I say be memorable, of course, I mean in a positive way. I don't mean stand out as that one guy, can you believe that? Or that one woman, we've never had anybody like that before, and good thing. So we want you to stand out in the positive light of this shining apple from the worm. So again, do great things in the extent you can. You may or may not be in a position where your work itself can shine because, maybe it's pretty cut and dry and you're just doing a relatively routine or commodity type of task and you just have to get that done and it's going to get done. But then you want your personality to shine through. You want it to be that not only did you get the work done, but you got it done and delivered to people on time and in the way they expected, and that you had a good disposition about yourself when you were interacting with them. Be very careful of your social interactions as well. I'm going to encourage you to have lunch and become socially involved with some of the people that you're working with to a greater or lesser extent, obviously keeping it professional at all times. But you don't want to stick out like a sore thumb at lunch, for example, where either order everything on the menu because someone else is paying, or you're rude and you're checking your cell phone when you should be talking to the person that you're speaking with. So make sure that you stand out in a way that people would want to continue to have those interactions with you in the future. The next step, and this is keeping in touch, really there is no last day. I mean, hopefully for all of you, you're going to go on and have the career that you're looking forward to, and your career is going to build on your past experiences. So you may not go back in to that particular workplace in the future, maybe a one-time, just for the summer engagement, but nonetheless, there are people that you've worked with that may be able to help you down the road, or ideally you can help them as well. So I would obviously encourage you to write thank you cards, thank you notes to the people that you've worked with that have had at least significant interaction with you over your summer, or even if it was just an isolated interaction, something that was particularly meaningful, or somebody who did something that really helped you out or really expressed an interest in your future success. Take the time to actually write them a thank you note at that point in time. For those same people, as well as other people that maybe you only spoke to once or twice, do not be afraid to pick up the phone and call them. They may not answer, but nonetheless, you've put in the effort of doing so. You've left a message, giving them a quick note that it was really great having a chance to work with you. Now that it's been a week or a month after you've left, you had a follow-up question, or again, you just wanted to drop them the note that you were thinking about something that you worked on with them over the summer. Leave your contact information, which they may or may not have already, and then if they call you back, that's great. If they don't, at least they have your name again in mind and know that you cared enough to follow up. If they haven't called you back, then don't be afraid. Write another handwritten note a few months later. You happen to see it's their birthday through, LinkedIn or Facebook, or you otherwise knew it. Send them a handwritten birthday card, or pick up the phone again, call back. Until someone tells you you're bothering me, don't call me anymore, or something along those lines. There's really no harm in doing it as long as it's done on a reasonable basis and not, every day or something that's going to be frustrating. Again, you're keeping yourself top of mind, which could help in getting a job within that particular organization or in some other way down the road. Okay, so what I'm trying to get you to do is prepare for the fourth L. I don't know exactly where you are. Hopefully you're either between your 1L and 2L, or 2L and 3L years at this point, where you have a summer job trying to build for the future. But if you've already graduated from law school and are in a summer position that may or may not mature into a full-time engagement. The bottom line is getting to this fourth L, the real or re-L, as I've called it, the real world and what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life without the backdrop of returning to law school the next fall. So take some of these tips and try to find ways to apply them throughout your summer. In the second installment of this course, I go through some forms that I've created, some worksheets, and other related documents that will help you throughout the summer track your progress and come up with action items to improve your opportunity to get the job that you want at the end of your law school experience and beyond. Thank you. Scott Horton, uh, attorney for Value My JD. This is the first